Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, sir. Is that picture Salunkhe?
No, no.
Okay. So let me just check if I'm able to share my screen. Just let me know. Is my screen visible to you?
Hello, Amit ji.
Hey, hi.
Yeah, hi. Can I just check your audio and video, please?
Sure. Let me know if it's visible clearly.
Yes, yes.
And let me just share my screen and let me know if you are able to see my screen clearly.
So you are giving the presentation,
Yes, I would be giving you a presentation.
and how many slides it will be?
There would be about 20 slides. I've tried to cover it about 15 minutes, 15 to 17 minutes.
So then you can show some the main slides which is required from that point of view.
Okay, you can just see here. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes, I can see the screen.
So these are the slides that I have.
So what you can do that first you start with the topic which you are going to speak, and
Okay.
then 1 minute I will just let you know. So the flow of the event, the agenda, I think Pranali has already shared with you. And the flow of the event will be, I'm going to introduce Mr. Salunkhe, and then
Okay.
he will be speaking for 5 minutes. Then the presentation by the Tata Tele business service person.
Okay.
And later on, you can speak regarding a business observation for SME that topic. So first
Okay.
I will introduce you, then you can speak about that topic and all. And lastly, then you can say about a few minutes about how you can able to help them or something about your company.
Sure. That is a flow which I made.
Yeah. Okay. So till that time you can unmute yourself. Once we start with that, then you can start with your video.
Sure. And how much time do I have? Would it be okay if I extend by a couple of minutes or so?
Yeah. Like basically, I think we have given you around 15 minutes or something. But that's fine.
Yeah.
We can adjust accordingly, and we can see how to adjust.
Yeah, because in my dry run, I am talking about 18 and a half minutes. So maybe I would try to reduce another minute or so. So it would be 16 to 17 odd minutes.
Yeah, so try, see, basically try to keep it like up to 15 minutes, because see, basically more than a presentation, then if any questions are there, then we need to ask. So like again, that time we need to calculate. So I think that around 15 minutes and then plus the Q&A.
Okay, sure. I'll try to keep it within 15.
Yeah, 15, 18 minutes is fine, no problem.
Okay, yeah, that's it. It would not extend more than 18 minutes for sure.
Okay, no issue. Okay, now you can just close your screen, please. Okay.
Sakshi, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
My audio is perfect?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
So we are waiting for the show.
तुझं हे का होतंय इको का येते तू 2 ठिकाणी जॉईन केलेस का
माझा ऐकू येतोय
हा
आता येतोय बरोबर
हो
ओके ठीक आहे एक
दुसरं कोण नाही अजून
मिस्टर अमित गुप्ता म्हणून आहे येस मिस्टर अमित गुप्ता
Hello, Chandrakant sir. How are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity to present on your platform.
Yes, thank you. So, Sakshi, call me when you are ready, okay?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hi, good evening, Gaurav here.
Yes. Hi, Gaurav. This is Sakshi from SME Chandrakant.
Hi, Sakshi, good evening.
Yeah. So that I think if everything is said, then we should start in another 2 minutes or 5 minutes.
Sure, no worries. Please let me know when to start.
So Romsha, you want me to the poll we need to do post Gaurav's speech. Am I right?
Yes, please do that after Gaurav's.
Yeah. So post he will be giving the presentation or speech. I am going to ask him the question and post that there will be the poll for around 3 minutes.
Okay. Done,
Yeah.
Sakshi. Okay.
Give me 2 minutes. Yeah, I request all the speakers, please, start your video, please. Chandrakant sir. Hello. Chandrakant sir. So we are starting with the session. Good afternoon to all. So today we are having a virtual summit on empowering business through smart solutions. And this is powered by Tata Tele Business Services. And today's agenda more focused from the what are the different solutions are the Tata Tele Business Services is having for the SME sector. And for that purpose, I would like to invite first Mr. Chandrakant Salunkhe, founder and president, SME Chamber of India and Federation of India SME Association and SME Technology Development Council, to welcome the speakers and as well as to say few words regarding why the solution, what are the why the technology is important for the SME sector. So I would like to invite Mr. Chandrakant Salunkhe for that. Sir, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sakshi. Friends, good afternoon. I think good evening to all of you. Special to all the speakers, Gaurav, Amit. Special to thank you to Romsha for organizing this very interactive meeting. Other friends, we are doing a lot of events, a lot of activities and webinars, especially to educate and create awareness among the MSME sector. We know that business solutions are usually very useful, particularly for the SME sector. And during this pandemic, it is the most important. We observe that most of the MSMEs are aware about some product, but they are not aware about the usage or as well as their importance. So this is a good opportunity that Tata Tele Business Services is providing with a do big. So do big means think some good product or good solutions to do your things to bigger, to improve your capacity, improve your services, and improve efficiency. And I'm sure that smart business solutions is usually uh, always required for any business, either it is a service sector, manufacturing, or any other industry. Mostly, as MSME sector is facing problem when they are in manufacturing, management of the people, marketing, digital marketing, promotional activities, HR management, some development online system, using the advanced technology, using the advanced solutions, which will be the documentation also, sharing some information, connectivity from one office to other office, using the smart business solution via your on all the hardware system, a new advanced mobile communication system. These are the things that are required currently because every businessman, every entrepreneur should adopt, acquire, and use the advanced technology for improvement of their efficiency as well as the productivity and services. Mostly we support SMEs on the particularly on the industrial perspective, industrial automation, because we are in now industry 4.40 and now entering to fifth also. The digital revolution has happened. This is third digital revolution is going on. So we have to think about what are the revolutions happen, what are the new advantages are coming, and mostly MSME sector is keen to understand the technology, advanced technology, affordable technology, and patented technology, so that they can improve their capacity, they can improve the capabilities. And most of the MSME sector, they are having the manpower, they are having the talented workforce, but they need a value addition. So creating value addition, providing value addition is a forte of the Tata Tele Business Services. And I'm sure the Tata Tele Business Services are doing remarkable work in this segment. And especially they are educating so many entrepreneurs, so many businesses. And this is a good opportunity for our entrepreneurs to understand, adapt, and improve your system. So friends, let us hear from the Gaurav, because when the Tata Tele Business Services comes, that means they are with a bigger basket. So if you want to do big, you have to understand, you have to listen, Mr. Gaurav, that what is a big basket they have today. Gaurav, over to you.
Thank you, Chandrakant sir. I hope you can hear me well. I hope the friends who are there on this call can hear me well. And thank you for your kind words. I would first of all like to thank SME Chambers of India for setting this up. And it's been a good collaboration that Tata Tele Business Services has with SME Chambers of India, where we utilize this platform to talk to SME friends, to educate them about what all services Tata has to offer, and in terms of technology disruption, how they can actually utilize the current technology products and services that are available in the market. We as a group, as a Tata group, always feel very proud to be associated with SMEs, working with SMEs, providing them various solutions which we feel can actually not only reduce or optimize their costs, but at the same point of time, we also believe that this can actually help their productivity and increase their productivity in a bigger way. So, without taking much time, because we have another speakers there, I would start my quick 20 minutes presentation. So let me start this once, please. Okay, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, visible.
Sure, just give me a minute. Okay, perfect. So as the topic of the discussion of this virtual conference is smart solution for smart organization and empowering business through the various smart solutions, Tata Tele Business Services has a bouquet of product which we feel we can offer to the organization or the SMEs, which will, as I said, start of my my discussion, not only optimize their costs but also increase their productivity in some or the other way. So it's a very old saying, although, but it can't be so true at this point of time. Currently, the time that we have seen the last couple of years, specifically in the long history of humankind, people who have actually were not able to collaborate and were not able to improve their efficiency have have prevailed, right? I mean, in the last 2.5 years, we have seen how pandemic has played a key role in our personal as well as professional life, from the time of working in office, collaborating with our friends, collaborating with our colleagues, to basically working in silos, right? That has been the time, that has been the change that everybody has seen in the last 2.5 years. Thankfully, the things have moved into a better space right now. But however, considering the discussion that we have with our customers, with our prospects, going forward, they all see this as a hybrid environment where again collaboration would be a very important tool going forward. As they say, and it's very true as well, you learn, you live, and you evolve, right? And at the end of the day, to evolve as an organization, we need to ensure that we are actually providing products and solutions to the SMEs or to our corporate friends, which are actually the need of the market at this point of time. That's where we, Tata Tele Business Services, feel that there are certain products that we want to educate our SME friends about, and we hope that the digital adoption journey which SMEs have taken in the last 2.5 years continues to grow, continues to evolve. Quickly setting up the agenda, what we're going to talk about are four important points here. First, we will look at the landscape, the technology landscape that current organizations are going through. Then we will quickly touch upon what has been the SMEs, what they have been doing in the last 4.5 years, and then some of the major business challenges or operational or productivity challenges that we feel as an organization are faced by SMEs. And then obviously the discussion will be quite open for any kind of a question and answer session. I'll be more than happy to take your questions at the end of the discussion going forward. So let's look at some of the technology. I mean, there's nothing unique what is written here. It clearly says anything, the only thing that is constant in this world is change. The other thing which has got a lot of attention in the last 3.5 years is disruption. Disruption of many kinds. What I'm going to talk about here is the digital disruption. As I said, starting from people working in office in a closed room environment to working from home to in fact work from anywhere, and now again almost into a hybrid environment that is nothing but pure digital disruption, right? I mean, who would have thought a small SME would look at a Zoom or would look at any other collaboration tool, right? Similarly, who would have thought people who were into accounts or who were into business finance would actually work from home, because we always perceived accounts, business finance, collection, and all these departments of an organization to be the key organization who needs to be in the office, irrespective of anything else. But the times have changed. The digital disruption made them work from home, and similarly, organizations also adopted to the products and to the solution that were required to make this disruption. Now, let's look at what's happening to SMEs currently, right? Let's look at some of the key technologies or trends which are there in this at this point of time for the SMEs. One very critical trend that we have seen in the last 3 or 4 years is a business continuity planning, right? I'll tell you what it is. Second, another key technology which has moved the SME segment is the cloud adoption of cloud, I would say. And third is security, right? I mean, we were only talking about security for the bigger organization, for the larger enterprise, but gone are those days, right? I mean, if you look at this whole 3.5 years timeline for the last, if we go back 3 years, it's not only the larger organization who are adopting for security, it's even the smaller organization or the SMEs who are looking for the security adoption through various ways, whether it is a cyber security, whether it is a secure connectivity, whether it is a secure cloud and everything. But yes, the adaptation or the movement towards security has certainly taken place. Now let's look at some of the redefining points that an SME goes through. I mean, what has been the change? The change is that they are looking for a lower business interruption cost, right? And that's what the SMEs have resolved in the last 2.5 years, especially through this pandemic period, right? Yes, the SMEs were anyway conscious about the cost that they were incurring for any technology adoption or any operational expenses. But in the last 2.5 years, I think they have become much more conscious towards where they're going to invest in terms of infrastructure, in terms of any specific productivity tool. And similarly, they're more relying on acting according to the plan. I mean, they're not looking at a very long-term plan at this point of time. They're also looking at what's there for me in the next 1.5 years, and then move accordingly. The other thing which SMEs have been able to do in the last couple of years and act very smartly is resuming their operations right immediately. I mean, you look at we all hear news and we all read newspapers. Even if you look at the last 3 or 4 months, the business or the economies are actually going almost at the pre-COVID level. And in fact, there are many reports available which says which are saying that it's going to surpass that in next couple of months' time. So I think SMEs have played a very key role, I would say, in bringing back the economy to where it is right now, because those are the guys who are ensuring, I mean, just to give you a stat, almost 50 to 60% of the people in terms of daily wages, people who are working for an SME setup. So these are the organizations or the people who are actually ensuring that the economy is back on track. And obviously, I talked about some of the regulatory compliance earlier. Similarly, the security has been a very critical factor now in terms of the business continuity plan. And SME needs to ensure that whatever tools, whatever productivity tools, whatever operational tools, whatever infrastructure tools that I'm using in my organization are secure, because it can lead to various negative sentiments for the organization as well as for the larger cause. And then obviously creating an integrated risk management system, which I just talked about, ensuring that all of your tools and all of your data is actually right there and secure. Now, let's look at some of the business challenges that the SMEs have faced in the last 2.5 years, or maybe more. Not specifically, I am talking about pandemic, but as a general, right? I mean, we do face, in fact, to the for the even bigger organization, one of the major challenges that an organization faces is the employee tracking, right? I mean, we all are working, especially in the last 2 years, we've been working from home, but even then, there have been some segments, some industries which were forced or which were required to, work from the office or from the field. So the major challenge, what I see personally, and while talking to a lot of SMEs in the last couple of years, has been employee tracking. How do I actually make sure that my employee is being tracked and is being productive? Another very key and very important factor which we feel and or which SMEs have come up and say it's a business challenge for us is the collaboration I just talked about to start with. I mean, whether it is Zoom, whether it is Teams, whether any other model that you see has been I mean, it's there now in place for the last some time, but it was a key challenge for the SMEs in terms of how do I collaborate with my colleagues, how do I talk to these people. I mean, I can't be talking to my colleagues or my staff over the phone for 6-7 hours. Now, what's the other tool? The other thing is, while everybody was working from home, a lot of applications and a lot of tools were only available while I was connected to my office network. Now, how do I access those things, right? Because I'm not sitting on an office network. I'm connected to my, whatever, a different Wi-Fi setup. How do I ensure that I have the accessibility to my applications? Other very critical thing and very, very obvious, how do I, travel? How do I access my office infrastructure? There is lack of security because everybody is connected to almost one Wi-Fi at home. And absolutely, I mean, there is almost a zero security, right? I mean, while I'm presenting to you, there is a clear chance that, let's say this presentation gets hacked or anything else, right? And consider and imagine this: if you're working in an office on an office data, right? There is a clear chance of a risk there. And then obviously, how do I access those voice tools? How do I access those voice infrastructure which was available in my office, which is not there right now? Whether it is a PBX infra, whether there are some voice tools that I've been using in the office. So we thought, and this slide basically talks about some of those business challenges that an SME has been facing in the last 2.5 years. Now, let's before I go to the next slide, I mean, just to tell you, it isn't disruption if you're ready for it. I mean, I've been on SME Chambers of India forum a couple of times. There've been a lot of SMEs who have come up and said, fortunately they were smart enough, they were ready enough in terms of their digital adoption because of this pandemic that their work did not get hampered. But effectively, if you're not ready for a digital disruption, you're not ready for it. And I think this whole situation does not give you that much of opportunity or that much of time for you to come back and be ready or be strong in your business. That's where and very clearly, I mean, it's not a secret anymore, right? Digital adoption has been the key for this generation, especially for these SMEs, because larger organizations have already been digitally active, digitally savvy, I would say, and digitally ready as well. But it's been the SMEs who have who have taken the lead now from let's say almost a zero digital adoption to certain degree of digital adoption. To give you an example, even in Tata Tele Business Services, we did a recent survey with our active set of partners where we thought, let's understand how digital savvy these guys are. We found out that out of a certain number, almost 30% of our partners don't even have a website, right? So the first thing that we did is ensure that they have a website so that at least their digital journey starts, at least the number of, we call it leads, we call it traffic, whatever. But at least they start their digital adoption journey so that they move faster in this evolving world. And if you can see the numbers very clearly, that says that 43% of SME use various internet platforms to sell and promote themselves. As I said, no rocket science. In the last 2.5 years, I think from a typical grocery wala to anybody in the world has been selling online. And again, another stats which proves what we are talking about. It says 75% of SMEs in India believe that digital adoption is the key to the success. As I said, nothing very shocking here, right? I mean, people and SMEs, or for that matter, all the organization have digitally slowly adopted. However, we feel from Tata Tele Business Services, there are certain products and services which can actually make your digital journey a bit smarter, a bit smoother, and obviously at a increasing and ensuring that your productivity remains high. Right? So let's look at. I'll not talk much about it. So let's look at quickly some of the guidelines that I wanna talk to that I wanna give to my SME friends who are there on the call. I've been talking about this for some time now. That's the core area that Tata Tele Business Services plays into the SME segment. Every SME is very unique. An SME sitting in Delhi is absolutely different than an SME sitting in Mumbai or a Bangalore, right? I mean, they will have their different operational challenges. A Mumbai SME will have a different operational challenges. Similarly, a Bangalore one, right? So what we suggest as a technology provider to our SME friends is that you do not need to buy a technology. You do not need to basically own a technology. You can actually rent it, right? Obviously, very simple scenario. The cost will be very less because if you rent it. And the other important factor is that technology is bound to change very quickly, right? So ensure that you rent it, you do not own it. The other important factor or the important guideline that I want to give it to my SME friends is ensure that you select fit for purpose, right? I mean, it's like just ensure whatever you're choosing right now as a technology solution only fits your problem, right? Versus your scale down solution. So don't look for a large solution. Look for a solution which actually caters to your need, right? The other thing, other guidelines or other important factor that I want to recommend is bill as you grow, pay as you use, right? Do not at one point of time, buy a capacity which is going to be an unused capacity, right? So very simple example, a mobile, right? We take a plan of 1,500, 1,600 rupees per month, and then we see at the end of the month there are 200 GB data is still unused. So basically, I'm paying for the 200 GB data, right? I'm still paying for that unused capacity. So ensure that you only bill as you grow, and then once you start growing, you can obviously look for better plans or better options. The other thing that I want to talk about is look for the integrated solutions, right? Always look out for the partners who can give you an integrated solutions rather than a single product each, right? It's very simple, right? Why do we go to Amazon's with the big baskets and all? Because we know they have a bouquet of solutions and product. I really don't need to go out for my other products. I can get all the products in one basket. Now, I mean, very clearly, number one, obviously it reduces the cost. And number two, the onus and the responsibility lies with only one technology. And clearly, an SME do need a handhold. So we always say that ensure that you have a partner who's there to support, right? Who's there through your thick and thins in terms of, probably from, designing the solution to in fact implementing it, and then maybe a step further while using it, right? So these are some of the five, these are some guidelines or some of the experience that I want to share with my SME friends that I've been talking to last some time. Now, quickly, I'll touch upon some of the solutions that we have as an organization, as Tata Tele Business Services. We call it too big because we really feel that SMEs in this country are the one who are actually the major driver of the economy, and we feel that if SMEs use the digital adoption in the right way, it's going to boost our economy and ultimately going to be, a handful for the country. Right. So some of the I'll not talk about each and every products. So you can. So some of the branches, or I would say some of the product buckets that we have, starting from connectivity to security solution to collaboration to cloud to marketing solution, IoT. Tata Tele Business Services has a lot of products to offer. very clearly one of our bread and butter product is internet lease line, which you see in the organizations, in the SMEs, starting from 10 Mbps, and it goes up to even 1 Gbps. And then security solutions, which is your email security, endpoint security, collaborations. I'm going to touch upon it quickly in next 2-3 minutes, because there's something very interesting there. And then, as I said, cloud and SaaS services, marketing solutions, and IoT services. Let's look at some of the remote business solutions that we have to offer. We call it remote access for business through MPLS. I'm sure you understand MPLS. But in terms of the data reliability, it's one of the most reliable product that we have to offer. Very quick, easy to install. Business continuity remains the same irrespective of the number of offices, number of branches, and obviously it has a multi-device support, right, to offer. Now, another product that is very relevant and very important for SMEs across, and we have seen this adoption of the smart VPN in the last couple of years, going up in terms of the demand. As I said, new age hybrid WAN connectivity. If you have various offices across various locations, as you can see on the slide, you have different branches to connect to. You have a branch office and a partner office, or you have 3 or 4. One is a warehouse, one you have a POS, whatever, point of sale, or a retail store, or let's say if you have a remote branch. Similarly, if you are connected to a cloud partner, whether AWS, whether IBM, and then you want to access those applications into your office, you would need a secure VPN and a remote access. So these all options are available in our smart VPN product, starting from MPLS VPN to Internet VPN to MPLS, Secure Connect, and going forward. This ensures that you have a complete secure connectivity within your office branches and outside of it. Now, I don't want to take much time on it, but quickly want to talk about one of the case studies, or one of the places where we actually applied or implemented the solution. It was a cooperative bank who has been into this business for 1978. As you can see, the problem statement or the issue with the bank was to provide a seamless connectivity to their entire team spread across multiple branches. And what we offered a secure MPLS network to ensure that there is a high efficient route for their customer traffic as well as for their internal employees. What we have provided, multiple PRI lines we provided, ensuring the concurrent transmission of voice as well as the data, and then obviously high-speed internet lease line connectivity was offered. And as you can see, this bank has a BFSI segment has been with us for almost 6-7 years now. So this is something which has taken up a good shape. Another product or another solution that has done really well, especially during this pandemic time, has been our smart office. We call it one box solution for our businesses. Let's quickly look at what is there in this whole box, right? So we all know, setting up an new office or a new setup anyway is not an easy job. What we offer to SME is a combination of hardware, software, and to that matter, some third-party solutions as well in one box, ensuring that you're ready to go, right? So as I said, hardware for storage, data and information security. You have a broadband, start with broadband, and then you can upgrade it to ILL, and then your basic equipment, which is router, Wi-Fi, PBX, LAN, and ensuring that your office applications and your office data network is secure. That is something that is a part of our smart office. As I said, one-stop solution, integrated solution. There is no capex and there is no AMC. So basically, you're paying. As I said, in my guidelines, you're just paying of what you're using. So you're not putting any infrastructure cost to your overall budget or overall costing for your organization. Let's look at one of our. This is something very interesting. Smart Flow has been one of our hot selling products in the last 2.5 years, especially during this pandemic time. Again, Smart Flow is a bouquet of product. It's got various products in this kitty. To start with, I'll give you an example. So let's say if there is an organization who has a 1-800 number or who has a contact center and has been facing some issues in terms of finding the data analytics of how the calling is going on, what has been my call agent's productivity, what has been my how many incoming calls I'm getting per day, how do I better it, or let's say if there is existing CRM that we have got and we want to implement this solution, which is a simple soft call or let's say click to call option, how do I integrate it? Various products are available within the smart flow umbrella. We call it smart multimodal, multifunctional, flexible, secure, and reliable suite of cloud-based communication. So let's quickly look at what is there. Very clearly, anytime, anywhere communication. It's simple, soft button, click to call communication for an incoming setup or an outgoing setup. Otherwise you would have been having a high operational capital cost in case you want to give a phone to each and every agent in your call center or a KPO. Instead, you can just put SmartFlow as a solution, give the access to all the agents and the call center folks, and obviously the operation cost will come down. As I said, the best part is in terms of the business intelligence, which is very critical for an SME to understand, or for that matter, for any organization, or for that matter, CXO or CFO level, in terms of the productivity. If I have 15 agents, 20 agents, what has been the productivity? What has been the call analytics? How do I get more details, more reports? This tool does allow you to get all those reports, analytics, to track project, or maybe understand the progress of the call center. As I said, call notes, live calls, you can hear it, data insights, various, as I said, in terms of another important guideline is also connected to what I'm going to say now is on-demand scalability, right? So when we say pay as you grow, that's the concept that we also follow in our product lineup or in our solution. You can start with a smaller version, and then once you know that you're expanding, you can actually scale the horizon of this whole product, starting from 20 channels, which will allow you 20 agents. Then you can move up to, I don't know, maybe 400 channels, right? And similarly, ensuring that you have a better customer experience through this portfolio. Let's look at one of the case studies for SmartFlow. As I said, any organization which has a contact center. So this was a company which was a VPO with around 500 agents from various locations, from different customer segments, from lead management to vendor onboarding to document verification. The idea or the challenge was, how do I line that up? How do I ensure that my productivity is right up there? They already had an existing CRM, so another challenge was to integrate with the existing CRM. How do I actually prioritize my call? Sticky agent was a problem. So let's say if there is a customer who's calling from Tamil Nadu, how do I ensure that I'm actually putting his call to a Tamil speaking agent, or for that matter, to somebody in Tamil Nadu itself, so that the customer experience remains high, right? And as I said, various analytics. How do I do that? What we did is that we did a pilot with this customer. We provided him the SmartFlow solution to this customer to start with. We did it with 20 channels where 20 agents were actually put into this solution. And as you can see, the overall experience was very nice. And finally, we actually were able to convert all the 500 agents from the existing setup to the SmartFlow setup, right? So this was a case that I really wanted to talk about, which can be really helpful for SMEs like you who are into this similar space and are looking out for certain solutions. Now, very interesting, and I think I'll just touch upon this very quickly as well. Recently, Tata Tele Business Services has done a strategic partnership with Zoom. I'm sure you might have heard it somewhere in the news or through some articles. In case not, that I'm here to announce this for all my SME friends. We all know collaboration has been one key to success, I would say, in the last 3 years, where everybody was working from home. We thought it's very important time for Tata to do something for our SME friends, where they can actually get in touch with the largest player in the meeting space, and we thought it's a good idea to talk to Zoom. And this partnership has been now working for the last 6 months. We've been seeing a lot of nice traction. We've been seeing a lot of SMEs who are coming up and are buying Zoom from us. I really don't want to talk about Zoom here because everybody knows the kind of you know you know features that it actually brings on table, right? I mean, I really don't want to talk about. We all know Zoom. Currently, we are also working on. We are talking to all of you through Zoom only. Yes, there are some free versions available, but free versions are only limited for a period of time, as well as the just like any free version, the advantages and the features are very less. And Tata is currently is the number one authorized partner for Zoom in India. Now, an SME would come and say, "Why do I buy Zoom from Tata?" Right? I mean, it's available online. It's available various other sources. The key factor here is that Tata becomes an L1 support, right? Let's say, for example, if you have an issue with Zoom, if you have a problem of various kind with Zoom, currently you will have to write it to the US office or maybe dial the US number and talk to them. While with Tata, what we bring on table is complete L1 support, and I'm sure you can very well imagine the kind of support that Tata has been offering to our customers. And obviously, the resolution time decreases significantly if if a customer is attached to Tata rather than dealing directly with Zoom, right? And at the end of the day, if there is any issue, if there is any complaint, there is no phase for Zoom. We all know it's a US based organization. You're talking to basically somebody far away from the country. While in case of Tata, there is help, there is customer service available for you right there and then, right? I mean, as I said, I really don't want to touch upon the the features of Zoom. We all know that trusted services. We have a SLA of close to 99.5%. As far as the product is concerned, it's a user-friendly interface. And as I said, it's not only one product that you can choose of; it's a bouquet of product that you can think of while dealing with our last that I want to talk about is one of our very interesting and very newly launched SD-WAN. It's a product which is getting used by a lot of SMEs in the last couple of months, where they are where they have different branch offices across various locations, whether in a single city or different cities. Okay. Before I talk about it, let's look at let's look at the need of this product. Why do we need something like this, or why there was a need for Tata to bring something bring something of this sort, right? I mean, we all know the traditional network architecture were not able to handle the workload and the complexity. Similarly, one organization is using one cloud, then using one application from other vendor, then using one internet lease line from other vendor, and there is absolutely no security there, right? And similarly, maintaining so many clouds, so many internet lease line in one folder was not an easy task for SMEs. And again, this is where we, Tata Tele Business Services, and this product SD-WAN iFlex brings intelligence and flexibility. This is powered by Fortinet. This is one of the industry leader as per the Gartner Magic Quadrant, and it gives you the simplicity at the application level, prioritization and visibility, and obviously the security remains our top priority in terms of connecting all your various branches across within the city or across the city. How actually SD-WAN helps you very clearly. It optimizes your network performance and uptime, ensuring even if you have a multi-location offices, branches set up, absolutely not a problem. We will ensure that your connectivity is there and is absolutely secure. And as I said, coming back, which has been our policy from Tata, ensuring that you start from what you need, and then it allows you to scale up the way you want to. Similarly, let's say if there is any organization who works with a lot of application, who works with a lot of tools, this is a product which actually allows you to prioritize your applications, right? So if you want a certain bandwidth to be given to that application, this product will allow you to do that, right? And analytics, security is something that has been there a feature of all Tata Tele business services. Quickly touching upon, not taking much time, another set of products which has been being offered by Tata Tele Business Services is IoT product portfolio, where we have products like smart fleet tracking, school bus tracking, workforce tracking, and asset tracking, especially for SMEs or SME friends who are into logistics business, who are into various delivery business, I would say, who need to ensure that if can I track my fleets? Can I track my transport? Can I track my workforce? As I said, Tata Tele Business Services has all these products to offer as well. And the last product that I want to talk about quickly, want to touch upon, is Easy Cloud Connect. Why do we need a product something like this, right? For ensuring that currently SMEs do have a lot of service providers, right? Whether it's for ILL, whether it's for cloud, as I said, or for any other reason, right? And security has been a big concern for the SMEs, or for that matter, for the bigger organizations as well. Similarly, ensuring that you have a bundle cloud connectivity solutions, which includes your connectivity as well as cross connectivity, and allowing you the access of cloud, irrespective of whether these are from different vendors or from different players, right? Easy to scale, as I said. Connectivity and the SLA has been absolutely fantastic in terms of SLAs, which has been close to 99.5%, and various other features, right? Last but not the least, I really don't want to talk about it. I'm sure you've been, you are aware of this. As Tata as a group, and Tata Tele Business Services, we have close to 60,000 connected buildings. When I say connected buildings, where we have our own fiber where the internet lease line can be provided, within, I don't know, 24 hours maybe. Close to 40,000 business customers we have across, which are being served by almost 1,400 partners, 1,500 plus. We have a channel team, and we are present across 60 plus. So this is the trust that Tata brings on table for our SME friends, and that's where we believe, we believe some of the benefits that we can pass on to our SME friends and SME community, whether it's a new product, whether it's a reach, whether it's a services, whether it's an SLA, and obviously the trust factor that Tata offers is second to none. So I want to give a break to myself here, and I really want to thank SME Chambers of India for giving us this opportunity to talk about the products and services that Tata has to offer. Thank you, Chandrakant ji, and over to you.
Thank you, Gaurav ji. Thank you for the brief introduction and brief about the solutions what the Tata Tele Business Services is providing to the SME sector. And definitely, we feel that all the SMEs will take the help and to get back to you for the more information about the various products and services which you have talked about. Now we will start with the poll. We will start with the poll. And while starting with the poll, Gaurav ji, I would like to ask the question to you. Gandhi, start with the poll. So I just want you to ask firstly, like the smaller businesses have the culture of face-to-face meetings. Do you see now cloud collaboration like Zoom is the new acceptable avatars for collaboration, meetings, etc.? And what is the future do you see even once the things normalize?
So, it's actually a good question. In fact, while even our offices have opened up now, I'm going to office for almost twice in a week now, right? And similar has been the case with some of the SMEs that I've been talking. Initially, we thought that once the offices will start, the collaboration tool will start to go down, or the usage of those collaboration tools will go down. But that's not the case. Most of the organization, most of the SMEs across are still opting for a hybrid work environment, whether 20% of their workforce is coming to office, 60% is working from home. So the usage of these collaboration tools, I really don't see them going down in terms of numbers. In fact, in the last couple of months itself, we've been able to sell a lot of Zoom licenses to SME players, right? Where they're saying, yes, we are going to office. However, these collaboration tools cannot be ruled out. So I really see, I mean, these collaboration tools, in fact, going up from here, not down.
Okay, yeah. And the another one is that how the role of technology partner have changed today, and what are 3 or 4 things each technology leader should be mindful while selecting a tech partner for their technical needs.
So again, something that I touched upon in one of my slides, I think very importantly for an SME, especially for an SME where they have a small pocket in terms of money to spend for an infrastructure, they should always look out for a partner who can, number one, give you an integrated solution. Do not look out for partners who are giving you one product and second product is being given by second. That's for me point number one. Point number two, look for a partner who starts his journey with you from designing a solution and then finally implementing it. Because if there is a partner who understands your problem, he will be able to offer you a better solution than anybody else. Number three, look for a partner who can offer you all the products at an OPEX level, at an operational expenses level, rather than a CAPEX level. Because as I said, had it been an organization of the level of, let's say, Microsoft or the Amazons, then there is absolutely no dearth of money, right? You can invest whatever amount of money you want. Considering an SME where, again, I'm saying where there is a limited budget that you have, ensure that you look for a partner who's able to offer you all these products and services at an operational level, at a monthly level, at an EMI level, I would say, that level, right? So these 3 or 4 things are very important. And last but not the least is the support, right? Ensure somebody who can give you a support. I'm not saying if it's 24/7, but yes, somebody who you can trust in.
So, and firstly, we would from SME Chamber of India, we would like to congratulate Tata Tele Business Services for joining hand with the Zoom, because Zoom is a very like the technically a very sound platform where the SMEs can easily log in, log out, and they can also have the good meetings. So even though from last 2-3 webinars which we have conducted along with the Tata Tele Business Services, our SMEs are also easily connecting, and it's very easy for them to connect for the webinars and all. So thank you for the brief, all the discussion from your end.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now I would like to invite Mr. Amit Gupta. He is a director for business development, Quickwork Technologies, and he is going to speak a little bit. He is going to speak on business automation for SME sector. Welcome, Mr. Gupta. Over to you.
Thank you, Sakshi. Thank you, Gaurav, for the wonderful presentation. And let me just start by sharing my screen, and if you can confirm if you can see my screen. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I would like to start by thanking Assembly Chamber of India for giving Quickwork an opportunity to present what are the business automation for SMEs that we do. And let me take few pointers from the webinar presented by Gaurav and take it forward from there. There were 3 beautiful things which Gaurav touched upon. One was that 75% of the SMEs are thinking or believe that digitization would require for them to grow. Secondly, the play from now on would be on the integration rather than the software. So integration would be a much more capable thing. And the most important part here was renting a software rather than owning it. So those are the 3 things which I would take a little bit more in detail, and how our platform helps you do that. Let me set the agenda for today. I would be taking about 15 odd minutes on this today's webinar, and we would be discussing about following points here. What is SME, Unicorn, and how do both of them connect to each other? Then I would take you through the journey of Quickwork, who are our core founders. What is the capability of Quickwork, and what makes a difference? So, and finally, the most important part of today's webinar would be how we help SMEs for automation. So let's begin on the journey. If you see here, last one decade, if we compile the data, there were hardly, in the first half of the decade, there were hardly one or two unicorns which were coming up. And if you see on the left hand, right hand side, the last 5 years, the number of unicorns have grown exponentially. And this year itself, which we are not even toward the end of the year, we already have more unicorns than the entire last 10 years. Now you may wonder why I'm talking about unicorns when the event or the webinar is supposed to be about SMEs and their automation platform. The reason why I'm talking about unicorns here is each one of these unicorns were actually either a SME or a startup few years back. And they have grown exponentially over a period of time so that they become a popular choice and loved by multiple consumers and investors, and they are a unicorn. So every SMEs who are listening to this webinar right now have the potential to be a unicorn. Now, there would be certain SMEs who are working from last 2, 3, 4 decades and are very profitable, but have not thought in a manner that how they can be a unicorn. One of the common things which you would find in all these 70 companies, and since I work really, very closely with SMEs, is that each of these 70 companies have been exceptional and early adopters of the technology. So whatever technology was available at that point of time, that technology process was far ahead than what their competitors were doing at that point of time. So it is given by default that you don't have a choice. If you want to grow exponentially, you need to adopt technology, you need to adopt it fast. And as mentioned by Gaurav earlier, you don't need to own it. You need to just rent it out. You need to churn it out, and your technology should be such that you should easily switch between different technologies. Now, coming to the left-hand side of the slide, if you find why SME would need a digital transformation and why they are fearing about it. So, as I mentioned earlier, there is no choice in today's world, and especially after COVID, most SME, 75% of SME already realize that they need to go digitize. There is no no options available to them. If they don't digitize, they don't evolve. Maybe they would phase out, they would die, or maybe taken over by someone else. But even when they believe that digitization is the need of the hour, while they're not able to digitize or evolve their offering, the simple reason behind them, based on the studies, is that the risk they believe the risk involved in digitization is way higher, and if they might incur a huge amount of cost, and at the end of the day, if they are not able to do it properly, they might be back to square one, and a huge amount of money would be spent there, which might slow down their normal growth path. Second fear they have is that probably they don't have the capacity, or they don't have the IT talent to do the entire transformation by themselves, and this technology are very expensive. But among all this, what they miss out on is the last thing here, which is the threat to their business. So over a period of time, if you don't evolve or don't digitize, there are very high chances that your business may not be there. So right now there is no choice but to evolve. A simple example would be we all have been ordering food for decades, right? Every hotel in the nearby area used to deliver food at home. But with Zomato and Swiggy, there were two kinds of hotel or restaurant owner: one who joined them or one who avoided them. Once who joined them were able to serve more customers over a period of time, because the range of delivery for Swiggy and Zomato is much more higher than what a normal bicycle hotel guy would be able to do. And there were people who did not join them, and their customer went to these people, the hotels who adopted them. So currently, the SME don't have a choice to digitize or not. They need to digitize. The only thing is how they get digitized in the right manner, in a cost-efficient manner. So let me just take you through some information about us. So Quickwork was founded in 2016, and we are an iPaaS platform with enterprise-grade features. And I will take you through all the different things throughout the pattern, different parameters of us and offerings throughout the presentations. Let me just start with giving credit to our team. So Quickwork has been founded by Dr. Miling Agarwal, who is the CEO right now, and his vision is to ensure that the automation is democratization of automation, so that automation is easy, affordable, and available for everyone. And we have Deepak Bhatka, who is a co-founder and chief business officer. Then Omkar Sate, who is a VP operations and co-founder. And the brand behind this platform, which is Chris Advani, VP engineering and co-founder. What are our capabilities? We have three capabilities, basically API management, integration as a service, and conversation management. Now API sounds very confusing to people when, what is API and how it is. So in a very simple layman term, API is when two systems talk to each other in a very secure manner. So it's just like you can build up an entire workflow, convert it into a simple API and pass it on to different your vendors or your customer as per their requirement, and it would be absolutely secure. They would be able to access the data of what they need, and they would not be able to see anything apart from that, and your entire data would be secured. It is much more powerful than building an application itself. To a point that it is known as the secured APIs are itself an operating system. Second USP of our platform is that integration as a service. So we already have more than 1,000 pre-built applications connected on our platform. And this ranges from business, consumer, artificial intelligence, analytics, messaging, IoT. In fact, there are at least 40 different categories of applications which are already pre-integrated on our website, which provide a composable architecture for you to connect and make these applications talk to each other. Apart from this, we are absolutely open. If you are using any other application which is not available on our website or on our platform, we would be happy to make those connectors for you absolutely free of charge. The most important offering of us for SMEs is conversion management. Now you would say, how would conversion management be most important? The reason being, we offer real-time integrations. So if you are engaging with your customer, or if you are responding to your customer, you can connect with your customer on any of the preferred messaging platforms such as WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, Signal, any other, and you would be able to connect with them, respond to them. The another way of looking at it is also that most of the time you would have a limited capacity to respond via human support. So you can have, build up a chatbot which would respond to 80 to 90% of the queries which are normally repetitive by your customer. Your chatbot would be able to take care of it at a fraction of a cost, and that would be available 24/7. And you can design it in such a manner that the query which require human intervention would be passed on to next level. So it would be a combination of both human and a chatbot. And again, there can be multiple combinations based on your requirement. Why are we different? Simple. We offer all the integration in the real-time manner. So in a fraction of a second, all the integration are done, and the result, the output you get is within a fraction of a second. You don't need to wait. There is no cooling or a cooling period available. Secondly, you can make all the complex workflow directly on our platform. The platform is a no-code platform. You just need to have a business login. You can drag and drop. You can build up use the multiple applications which you are already using, and just connect the business login, and you would be able to build a workflow. Most importantly, we are 100% compliant. Since we are being used by multiple high-end banks and fintechs, we are also ISO 27001 compliant and GDPR regulated. How big are we? Currently, we are around 40 employees, but we have users in 130 countries. As I mentioned earlier, we already have more than 1,000 pre-built connectors, and we processed over 1 billion transactions in the last 1 year. Now coming to most interesting part of today's webinar and quite important. So why do SMEs need to automate? Well, there can be hundreds of reasons why any SME would need to automate. But let me just take you through some of them. Some of the basic need for automation, if any business would be generating leads. So how you process your lead, how you process your orders, payment, invoicing. The entire marketing automation or marketing tech can be automated. How you engage with your customers, pre or post sales using conversion management. How you automate your business operations using certain workflow. How you provide support to your customers. And in fact, you can even build an entire HR solution, HRMS pack here, which would include employee onboarding, attendance, leave management, exit route, performance management. Almost any high-end HR management software would be able to provide you, you can build it on our platform. Now, I would just take you through some of the popular applications which are used by SMEs. Now, when I say popular, these are the just few categories of applications which are taken here, and you might be any SME would be using either alternative of these. So that there would be an online store, there would be an accounting software that might be using a messenger platform, a CRM, a spreadsheet, and a drive where they would be able to store that data. The problem is, the limitation here is that you have already invested so much in these individual softwares, but just imagine the value you can get out of this if you can make these applications talk to each other. Right now, each of your applications are silos and you need to have a manual intervention to get the best out of them. Now, with Quickwork, a no-code automation platform, you can actually have this application talk to each other. I will just take you through some of the very few simple examples of automation. Now, that automation can be very complex, which can be built on our platform, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm taking you through some of the very simple examples here. Now, imagine a situation like almost every SME or every business today had to get leads, and most common place to get leads is Facebook ad or running ad on a social media platform. So suppose you are running ad on Facebook. What is a normal scenario? You will run an ad. There would be some few leads which would get attracted. They would like your ad or they would respond to the ad. Now the business operation will start in a manner that somebody from your team would collect those leads, add those leads to a spreadsheet, then add those leads to a CRM system or some other system which you might be using manually, assign those leads to sales rep, and then your sales rep would go and connect. So this entire 5, 6, 7 step would normally take anywhere between 3 to 5 business days. The problem here is, although this is a good process, the lead which came on your platform have already gone cold in those 4 or 5 days. How do you address this common issue? The answer with the Quickwork platform, you can integrate your Facebook, you can along with your spreadsheet, with CRM, with a messenger platform. Now, what would happen? Just imagine a scenario differently. You get a lead from Facebook ad. The moment you get a lead, you get an automated entry on your spreadsheet that has been added directly to your CRM. From a CRM, it get auto assigned to your sales rep based on the business logic, type of product or region. The sales rep get a message on their WhatsApp that this is a warm lead. Please connect to him or her. Now the entire process would take less than a minute or two. Just imagine you connecting out to a lead which has just come on your platform. It would be a very warm lead, and the conversion rate would be way higher compared to a normal conversion cycle of 5 days. So something which was happening about 5 days, you are able to close within 5 minutes. And that's a very basic level of solution. You can make it much more evolved based on your business logic. Now the same thing can be applied if you want to sync your lead to Salesforce or any other CRM platform, or if you get an automated response to your query, you can collect those responses or emails and add to any other storage, spreadsheet or Gmail. Most of the SMEs have started a website, which is a very common thing, and they have started selling online. The problem is the customers are not very sure whether they need to directly buy from a new website. The trust factor is always there, and especially in case if they start buying from a website and they don't receive a response to that transaction, they would keep on calling and following up with you. Now to address that, suppose you integrate your Shopify or WooCommerce or any other online platform that you have with something as simple as WhatsApp. What would happen the moment somebody has placed an order, they would get a notification. So they would feel like, okay, I'm with the right company. The moment the order is in pack, you can send out another notification. So at the same point of time, you are building relation with the customer. He's not more apprehensive. He would not connect with your support team. And the entire process would be much more smoother. You can also send out a message when the order had been delivered and when it would reach him along with the tracking number. So the entire process is very much smoother now. Every business will use any one or other platform to integrate payments. So again, rather than making manual entries, you can just integrate your payment provider along with the accounting system, whether it's Razorpay, Stripe, QuickBook, Zoho, and the entire payment entry can be automated. You don't need to manually enter with that. Same goes with Zoho, WooCommerce, and vice versa. What are the marketing automation which can be done by SMEs? So some of the social media ad or email marketing can easily be automated. For example, if you are getting new leads from Facebook and you want to add them to your email suite, you can do it easily. Or if you want to add them to your database or a Google Sheet, that can be automated. Sometimes you want to just receive notification whenever you get a new lead, so you can integrate your Slack so that whenever there are new leads or new campaign being launched, you get a notification, so your management team or manager is totally aware of what is happening at what point of time. So there is real-time updates available. Similarly, with the case of email marketing, just imagine that you have a certain form fill up, and every time you get a response, you need to manually add them to your database and then to the email provider email campaign provider that you are using. Those three apps can be linked and it can be totally automated. For example, you can just integrate, say, Typeform to MailChimp to a Google Sheet. What would happen in those cases is that any response would be added to your database of Google Sheet or SQL, and same point of time a subscriber would be added to MailChimp based on the product you subscribe for. Same goes for any other email campaign provider you are using, like Zoho or ActiveCampaign, and any other tools which you are using. For example, right now, I would take you through other couple of automations here. For example, events and forms. So right now, let's take a live example. Assembly Chamber of India conducting this event, and they would have registered on the Eventbrite platform, and they would want to know who are the attendees coming to this, or how many people have attended and how many people registered. Now, to manually keep a track of them and keep an entry is a very time-consuming and monotonous job. This can simply be automated by integrating Eventbrite to a Google spreadsheet or to a Slack, and they can have a notification whenever a new attendee signs up. At the same point of time, they can also integrate it to a MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, where they can, for the next future campaign, they can start sending out mailing to this attendees who would have registered for the previous webinar. What happened over a period of time that you have considerable amount of list of attendees who were interested in your webinar at point of time or your product at a point of time, and you could continuously reach out to them. The good part is these are all opt-ins, so you would have no problem of opting to reach out to them. Similarly, I mentioned earlier, all the form responses can be captured and updated in either of these HubSpot or Salesforce, all the way you want. I mean, these are just a two-layer integration. There can be 20, 30-layer integration. The entire business journey can be automated. Now coming to a very important automation here, and which would be very useful and a simple automation for all e-commerce, all SME players who have an e-commerce website. So most of the e-commerce websites today are on either on WooCommerce, WordPress, or Shopify. Some on Magento. A major problem being faced by these SMEs are that they invest a huge amount of money on marketing and promotion, and they pull lead to come on their website and do a shopping. Now, what happened that today there are hundreds of applications available on anybody's mobile phone or desktop, and once they start shopping, they might be distracted by some or other notification, and they might not do a checkout. They might do all the things. They would add the product to your cart, but don't pay it up. So your entire effort have gone waste. What you can do here, a simple automation where you link your e-commerce store to a messenger platform can send out a message after a certain point of time, say based on your products, 15 minutes or a day or 2 days, that you had visited our site and these are products which are still available on your cart and you have not done a checkout. Chances are that at least 15 to 20% of them would actually come back with the single link and they would be able to check out. Now, this kind of features are only offered by some of the biggest top 2-3 marketplaces in India. Imagine that you are able, even a small SME is able to compete with those giants at the same minuscule cost. Another major problem being faced by e-commerce players, especially SMEs who sell online, is about the product reviews. Now it's a normal human tendency that if the product is good as per your requirement, you would not actually go out and give reviews. Maybe few people would do, but most of them would not give any reviews to it. But at the same point of time, when the product has not been up to the satisfaction, you are bound to get negative reviews or lower ratings. How do you address this? And again, if you are selling more than say 20, 30 products in a day, it would be cumbersome chance for you to do this activity manually. Just imagine when you grow to 100, 200 products a day. A simple automation here, like for example, whenever after certain days, say after 2 days of delivery, if you have not received any review, which means that customer is normally satisfied with the product. Now you can send out an automated email to a person that hope you like our product and would you mind giving us a review? Chances are that 15 to 20% of the people would give you a five-star rating and your rating would come up. Similarly, if you have more rating, there are more chances that your product would sell higher because the trust factor would go up. Secondly, there would be people who have given you a lower rating of say 2, 3 or 4, and most of the time there would be minor issues. You cannot manually track each one of them, but you can, based on the rating, you can send out a mail or even this can be done on a messenger platform that okay, you have given us this rating, how we can help. And probably there would be minor concern which you can solve and ask them to give you a revised rating. This way, you can definitely improve your score by 15 to 20% with this simple automation. You can also offer them goodies if you want for the next purchase. Those things can also be done. And we are glad that we have some of these bigger names are currently users of our platform. So these are from each and variety of vertical that we have on our platform, and we are glad to have them. And we would be happy to include some of the names from today's webinar here. And let me just start addressing the most important query which SMEs have, that automation or integration are expensive. Let me give you a phenomenal plan today. A freedom plan, which is free forever, free for lifetime, absolutely free, with 10,000 transactions per month with 5 active workflow. Now, for most of the SMEs, this would be good enough to run their entire business operations. Well, they can have 5 different workflow for different, for example, Shopify to WhatsApp or review management or accounting or payment management. If they are selling, say, around 200, 300 products a month, I mean, this would be more than enough for your entire needs. And this comes, if you see on the left-hand side, this comes with the almost enterprise-grade features. So you have almost all the features you want at a zero cost. So I welcome each one of you to register on our platform and try out automation. And I would be happy to answer any queries or questions that you have right now or after the webinar. Feel free to reach out to me. I would be more than happy to help you how you can get started on your automation journey. And I would like to end the talk by thanking again Assembly Chamber of India for giving us this opportunity to present. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta, for the brief about the automation and why the automation is important for SME sector. And I think that like we can definitely share the presentation if anyone is required from the people, those who are attending today's program. And now I would like to say Gaurav, Mr. Gaurav and Amit with the thank you note. Yeah, and Romsha also for organizing today's webinar. And if any questions or anything, definitely we will share with you. So thank you once again, and thank you for attending all the delegates and participants for the today's webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.